Inside the OMG episode number 240. 240 episodes in a row since March 5th, 2019. Welcome to the show. Wow, October 3rd. We're already in October 2023. Unreal. Here we are. Amazing. I've got some fun things queued up for tonight. Mom and Dad, thanks for tuning in. Alexa, thanks for being here. Hey, Aunt Judy, thanks for being here. Excellent. So tonight, we're going to go down memory lane from a year ago and 11 years ago. So that's what's going to happen. All right, Facebook user, you must be watching on the Inside the OMG Facebook group. And when you do, unfortunately, I just see Facebook users. So I see a snare drum icon. Hey, Beth, thanks for tuning in. So I don't know who you are. So if you wouldn't mind, Facebook user, Danny Robley. Danny, you're the one that did the snare drum, I'm assuming. Okay. Cool. All right, so let's get right to it. Chip and Jana, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Really quick, just want to mention, if you're in town, Drum is Barry, your drummer. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so whenever, I don't know why this, I'm using an app. It's called, what's it called? Restream. So I'm able to stream on several different platforms at the same time. Samantha and Wayne, thank you for tuning in. So whenever, for whatever reason, when it's streaming to the Facebook group, whenever you comment, it shows up as Facebook user says ... Everybody else I'm able to see when they're on YouTube or regular Facebook, on my personal page or Olio's page. But for whatever reason, that's how it is. Jimmy G, howdy from San Francisco. Welcome back to the West Coast. Thanks for being here. St. Rock, October 28th, Saturday, October 28th, opening for Super Diamond. Get your tickets if you don't have them already. It's going to be a fantastic night. So that's what's happening with that. All right, so let's talk about what we did a year ago. Where were we a year ago? We were in El Paso, Texas, and more specifically, right next door in Anthony, New Mexico. We were part of Chukopalooza. That's what we were doing a year ago. So I thought we'd celebrate, share some fun videos. Sadly, there was no Chukopalooza Part 3. Apparently, there was a Part 1 that was smaller. Part 2 was last year. It was super fun. But I heard there was no Part 3. So some people were asking in that area if we were coming back. And I said we would, but they weren't doing it. So we didn't. But we can always relive the memories. So here we go. Here's Barry singing Party Up, Chukopalooza from a year ago, Anthony, New Mexico.
Look at the
Mosquito attack as it got dark. It was a fun gig, huh, Barry? Too bad not this year. Exactly. I know. I remember, boy, that sun went down and those mosquitoes were out. So right before it was like our set started right as the sun went down, and all of a sudden it was like you could hear it, just bzz, 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 mosquitoes. I'm like, wait, before we start, who has off? And we sprayed ourselves. They sprayed all over us, and it was just like, okay. But while we were playing, I could feel them and see them, and they would like get close and then just kind of stay away. But it was mosquitoes were out in force. You're not kidding. Yeah, crazy, right? Okay, next up, we haven't done this one live in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to share this song since we haven't done this one in a while. And that's the thing, we need to start getting ready for the October 28th set and see what songs we want to do. I got to check in. Probably we're getting 45 minutes. I need to see for sure and figure out what songs we're going to do. But this is always a requested one, and sometimes, we can't do all the songs, unfortunately. But we did it at Chukapalooza last year, so I thought it'd be fun to share this one tonight. Here is Best Is Yet to Come.
Make way for revolution. It's here. Thank you.
Kelly. Man, I was watching Kelly on that, and he was headbanging on that. It's crazy. It was crazy. And Barry with the cymbals up high. Perfect. Yeah, Barry says, yeah, funky. Let's do this one. All right, let's do it. We're doing it October 28th. Haven't done it in a while. Might as well do it. Gonna put together a fun set of songs. Maybe, some of the ones we haven't done in a while. Throw them in there. By the way, if you were tuned in last week, Spotify's top 8, Boom is back on top. So this week, Boom moved back up. So for a long time, it's been number 1. It got kicked out. Rich People Problems was number 1 last week. This week, Boom is back on top. And another one got into the mix, which is from the Port Town soundtrack, the soundtrack that I did the music for. The whole thing's instrumental except for the last song, which Olio did. It's called This Town. That got into the top 8. So somebody or some buddies streamed it a bunch to get it up there. I think it was number 7. So that was pretty cool. All right, I got one more queued up from Chukapalooza last year. And after we do this, then we're going to talk about 11 years ago, first week of October, what we were doing. And I've got some stories to share, photos to share, and some videos. So that'll be a good throwback. All right, but before we get to that, a year ago, Sugar Daddy, Sugar Mama, Chukapalooza.
This one's called Sugar Daddy, Sugar Mama. She came to Vegas from Bahama, mansion filled melodrama, head to toe in golden thread, woven through her dread. Snake eyes, shady bed, gambling, borrowed debt, love a boy inside her skin, taste the spoils of sin. All the money won't fix this. Money, money, no money, money don't. Money, money, no money don't. Not so sweet from Cincinnati, drives a big vintage caddy, knows the tricks and he's drugging rich. He's the devil's bitch, 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 bitch. Greenbacks won't make him cool. Pocket change for a fool. Ladies cringe when he's out of sight. There's no love tonight. All the money won't fix it. All the money won't fix it. Money, money, no, money, money, no. Money, money, no, money, money, no. Daddy long trade, daddy drama. Wicked candy, wicked karma. Mama can't buy true love. When you get right down to it, all the money won't fix this. When you get right down to it, all the money won't fix this. All the money won't fix this. All the money won't fix this. Money, money, no, money, money, no. Money, money, no, money, money. Daddy long trade, daddy drama.
Sugar Daddy, Sugar Mama from Chukapalooza Festival last year in Anthony, New Mexico. Rena says, "You keep my bones moving." Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Love that. Yeah, let's do this. I like this band. They sound great. And a three-piece. Dallas has joined. What's up, Dallas? Thanks for tuning in. By the way, I saw the post from maybe a week and a half ago, and Dallas was wearing his Champions hoodie out and about. So appreciate you doing that. Love that. Representing Olio well. Love it, Dallas. Very cool. All right. So 11 years ago, we found ourselves in the south of France with Eddie Kramer. So Eddie Kramer, legendary engineer and producer, had invited us to go out there. He was doing a week-long educational series with a bunch of producers and engineers from around the world, and he needed a live band to record in the studio. So it wasn't just like talking about theories, but it was actually hands-on and showing them how he records bands. What does he do? How does he do it? Where does he put the microphones? And explains his methodology. And then when it comes to mixing, what are the choices he's making and why is he making those choices? So he called me up. We had already done 4 songs with him in LA, and that was the Comeback Kings EP. And then he called me up and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go to France?" I said, "This is what I'm doing." Yes, we want to go to France. So I thought I would share some photos and some never before seen photos. These you've seen before, some of these, but some of these you will not have seen. So this is not us. But what I'm going to do, I did a blog that is no longer up on the site. Years ago, I created, there was a blog section to our website, and then I changed the whole thing. And I lost all of it, but I was able to find what I had written. So anyway, in the summer of 1971, the Rolling Stones began recording Exile on Main Street. Guitarist Keith Richards had rented a villa, Nicolette, in Villefranche-sur-Mer, near Nice in France. Since a suitable recording studio could not be found where the Stones could continue work on their album, Richards' basement at Nelcote became a makeshift studio where they recorded what has become one of their most highly regarded albums. Never has a house been so closely associated with the creation of an album. It was chemistry. It was a match for the glamour, notoriety, and charisma of the barefoot, elegantly wasted hippies who lived there through the summer of 1971. That was the Stones. Now, in the summer of 2012, Olio was finishing up mastering an artwork for our Comeback Kings EP in LA when legendary producer Eddie Kramer called. "You guys want to go to the south of France, stay in a mansion, record some new songs?" You bet. So he was invited to do another Mix with the Master session at La Fabrique Studios in the south of France and needed a band to record. We were super honored. We were thrilled, to say the least. Mix with the Masters is a chance for professional recording and mixing engineers to come and work closely with A-list record producers, engineers, and mixers and improve their skills in music production. Over a week, a series of discussions and workshops are held ranging from production and mixing techniques to career advice. They use a band to record and mix so they can collaborate and share various techniques. It's a hands-on type of seminar. Eddie led a session back in April and loved it, so he showed us pictures of the place and was excited for us to join him when the opportunity presented itself. Let me tell you about La Fabrique. It's a charming mansion built in the 19th century, located in Saint-Rémy-du-Provence in the French Riviera. There are 12 rooms in the calm and luxurious environment of the property, with a park, donkeys, and a swimming pool. An extensive collection of books and movies are available at hand. Authentic French cuisine, including fresh veggies from Provence, is provided, and the chef can accommodate any particular dietary preferences if desired. The space is dedicated to recording total more than 600 square meters, which is around 6,500 square feet, with various sizes, volumes, and acoustics, and sometimes with high ceilings, 12 meters in the darkroom. We booked our tickets to fly out of LA on October 1st. Miko, thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here. Just saw that. We had a couple of months until the trip, so we started demoing out the songs we were going to record in France. The plan was to record 3 new songs, Hypnotized, Shine a Light, and One of Those Things. We worked on the demos and figured out all the parts to record before flying to France. We left for France on Monday, October 1st, 2012, flying to Paris, then a fast TGV train to Avignon. A good tip I learned was to book our SNCF train tickets on the French website instead of the US website. We paid almost half price. So remember, if you're going to France and you need to book that speed train, do it on the French website, not on the US. At least that's how it was 11 years ago, and it was great. I used Google Translate to make sure I was clicking the right buttons, but it worked great. Visit Seat 61 if you're interested in how to do it. I'm seat61.com. I don't know. You could just do a search on Seat 61 France trains. We arrived at La Fabrique on Tuesday, October 2nd in the afternoon. La Fabrique sent their driver, Pascal, to pick us up at the train station in Avignon. Really cool guy who I'll get back to later. All right, now Victor, who runs Mix with the Masters, greeted us and told us to rest up for the next day's recording session. 9 professional recording mixing engineers from around the world had arrived, and their week-long session with Eddie had begun the day before. On Monday, Eddie shared music samples, stories, and photos of the legendary artists he had worked with over the years. He did a quick tour of the impressive grounds. We got a quick tour before we were summoned to the studio to see Eddie and meet the engineers. Super great guys. Giuseppe from Italy, Roman, Brett, and Emmanuel from France, Dan from the USA, Dan Cohen. May he rest in peace. Unfortunately, Dan passed away a few years ago, and he was a young guy. I mean, when we were there 11 years ago, he was in his mid-20s, maybe, and he was from Atlanta. He was in the hip-hop scene. He was mixing a bunch of records, and after La Fabrique, we were in touch, and he was doing some great work. And then, I don't know, several years after that, scrolling through Facebook, and I saw that his family had posted he had passed away, and it was just devastating. I couldn't believe it. Really, really great guy. Really great guy. So, a sad loss, gone too soon. Dan Cohen. Oliver from Germany was there. Ju from Brazil. Arturo from Mexico, and Elias from Moldova. Fred and Damien, the in-house engineers, were extremely knowledgeable and helpful with the sessions. Eddie and the guys were busy setting up the microphones on the drums, guitar amps, and bass amps, getting ready for tracking on Wednesday. That would be, Wednesday, October 3rd. That's today. That's when we started tracking. They had gotten to a point where they needed us to play on our instruments so they could dial in levels and get tones. Even though we were exhausted from traveling, we were eager to play. We spent about 30 minutes jamming with Eddie, discussing his process to the guys. Then it was announced that dinner was served, and the head chef prepared fresh French cuisine that was super delicious. All week long, lunch and dinner were gourmet meals fit for rock and roll royalty. As if recording in a mansion in the south of France with legendary producer-engineer Eddie Kramer wasn't enough. Crazy, right? We enjoyed a great dinner, getting to know everyone, and then it was time to rest up for the first day of recording. I was tired, but wired with excitement. Great days lie ahead. Great days indeed. So, there's the main tracking room. You got Kelly and Dee there. Woke up Wednesday, ready to go. A quick breakfast and in the studio by 10 a.m. We decided Hypnotized would be the first song to record the basic rhythm tracks for. We recorded the drums, bass, and guitar live. Dee and Kelly in the drum room together, and I was in the control room with a microphone to lay down a scratch vocal while playing guitar. We didn't want bleed from my vocal into the drum microphone, so we kept me isolated. With only a glass door that separated us, we were able to see each other easily. We spent a little more time dialing in the right guitar tone as well as drum and bass. Eddie commits to tones going to tape instead of the fix it in the mix approach some producers use with the advanced digital state of recording these days. I played the demo of Hypnotized for the engineers to give them an idea of what we were about to record. So before we flew to France, I did a quick demo here in the studio at my place so they could hear it and just so they could get an idea. The band started jamming and we went off on a funky musical tangent, and Eddie wanted to capture that fun, loose vibe and use it in the song. So we solidified the arrangement, then ended up adding an ending jam session based on the intro riff of the song. That so the top of the song, I'm going, and then the whole band comes in with. So then we ended up taking that little piece, and Kelly jammed out on that doodly doo 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 doo, and we made magic happen on the spot right there, and it was super fun. I think we only did a couple of takes, and Eddie was very pleased with the results. I did guitar overdubs on a nice Fender Strat provided by La Fabrique, duplicating what I did on my custom telly throughout the song to double the main guitar part. I used a beautiful red Gretsch for the bridge section, also supplied by La Fabrique. I did the guitar solos using my custom telly with my full-tone wah-wah modified Ibanez Tomb Screamer, Blood Drive, and Octron pedals all going into a Marshall JMP modified VHM half stack. So this, look at this, not that. This is that ending solo, the wah-wah solo of Hypnotized, and Eddie was like, okay, I wanna mess with the wah-wah pedal. So you play, and I'm gonna manipulate it, because he loves twirling those knobs and doing the wah-wah pedal. So he was doing it. Eddie was turning knobs and manipulating the wah pedal, and I was soloing to create some funky effects on the fly. Yeah, so then we broke for lunch and started recording the basic rhythm tracks for One of Those Things in the afternoon. So this is, there we go. Now I'm in the tape room. Got a nice nylon string guitar, and Eddie's micing me up. Jimmy says, you normally think of a studio with lots of acoustic absorbing tiles, etc. How did the France studio feel when performing? Well, you see, that was the thing. It was a library. Used to be, this mansion was a library that had tons of books. So because of all the books, it absorbed the sound perfectly. Also, there was wood floors, and then they had rugs down, and just, it was a really nice mix of surfaces that gave the room a live feel, but not overdone. You know, it wasn't too washed out. So they really dialed it in, and Eddie knew where to put the mics, and he had some room mics as well. So it was really, really cool. So Victor had rented a beautiful Taylor acoustic guitar for the week that I used for tracking live with Dee and Kelly. I was in a separate booth for sound isolation. We did quite a bit of work on that song before France, and I think we got it to a great place. We finished most of the main music of both songs on the first day. The plan was to lay down vocals for as much as we could on both songs the following day. Wednesday evening, we enjoyed a great dinner while discussing the day of recording and other topics like the state of heavy metal in France. Yeah, I recall Brett and Damon were they are huge metal fans, so we were talking about Iron Maiden and Metallica. So that was a lot of fun. All right, let me scroll, make sure we've done all these photos, which I believe we had. Okay, next. All right. Thursday morning, I spent warming up my voice, but the jet lag really got to me. I wasn't able to sleep, and I tossed and turned most of the night. Yeah, I remember that night. That was rough. We started the day recording a couple guitar parts and then lead vocals for One of Those Things. It took me a while to get warmed up on it. I didn't feel like I had the usual control over my voice and wasn't very happy with the results. I powered through, and then we broke for lunch. Dee and Kelly sang their background parts, and we moved on to Hypnotized. We had to move quickly, so the Mix with the Masters seminar could get on with their planned agenda. I did a scratch lead vocal in one take and then had all the engineers sing on a background vocal part. So that was fun. I was like, all right, guys, everybody in the studio, get headphones on. I know you're usually used to being behind the glass and directing the talent, but this time you're going to feel what it's like. So everyone got around the mic and they didn't have to sing. They just had to shout, oh, yeah. So they had a blast. Some of them had never really recorded before. They were never on that side of it. So they were like, we're not really singers. I'm like, you're good. You don't need to be. This will be great. So that worked out nicely. Some of them are musicians and recording artists in their own right and are used to being recorded, but some are not. It was fun getting them involved in the song from an artist's perspective. Fortunately, the part I needed them to record was a simple oh yeah. Fred and Damien handed out headphones to everyone, including Eddie. Once the guys got comfortable with their headphones and when to sing, they rocked it. It was one of my favorite moments of the week. Thanks go out to all the guys that added great energy to Hypnotized and made our week at La Fabrique so awesome. After the engineers finished their oh yeah parts, Dee and Kelly went in the booth to sing their background vocals. Eddie wanted us to do quick vocal takes and revisit them when we made it back to LA with more time. After Dee and Kelly finished their main backgrounds, Dee recorded a rap to go over the new jam at the end of the song. Fortunately, Victor had his camera ready and videoed the one and only take. You guys have seen this one and only take multiple times on the show, so I'm debating if I should show it again. I love it so much, but I think we've all seen it. Unless maybe I don't know. I see there's quite a few people on tonight, and maybe some of you haven't seen it. So maybe, just for the sake of those who have not seen it, maybe that would be the thing to do, is to show it. Okay, my favorite video. Here we go. Done in one take. As I mentioned before, I'm going to show it. As I mentioned before, we came up with this Hypnotized ending section the day before. While we were doing parts, Dee scribbled some notes, some lyrics out for the ending rap, and he went in and knocked it out of the park. Kelly had no idea what he was going to do, but he went into the vocal booth for support, and maybe he was going to chime in. Who knows? What ensued was pure joy, and Dee is no longer with us, but this is genius. And Victor, thank you so much for having the wherewithal to hit record on your video camera and capture this. I love this so much. There's no way I would do this justice by describing the awesomeness of what ensued. Check this out. Hypnotized, rap section, south of France, 11 years ago. Dee and Kelly.
Hand claps.
What?
We're doing
Hand claps?
We're doing hand claps on that part.
Man,
It's killing.
That was awesome. Damn.
Crazy in here.
We gotta do some hand claps. You guys think about it.
I broke a sweat.
Man, hand claps. Somebody slap me. Best line ever. You're not kidding, Beth. Oh, so good. Jimmy says, never gets old. Ah, I love it so much. It's so awesome. It never gets old. Let me just see what's happening here. Just quickly scrolling through. Okay, so the next few days, yeah, and then Kelly walks out like nothing happened. Totally, like he wasn't in the room going off. The next few days, Eddie and the engineers went back to their scheduled Mix with the Masters program while we wrote songs. The plan was to pick up recording on Monday, October 8th, the day after Mix with the Masters session ended. We still had Shine a Light to record. On Friday, Olio worked out at the dark room, which is adjacent to the library, the main tracking room where the drums are. We worked out some new song ideas. Round and Round came out of that session, that writing session. And Rich People Problems. The idea for Rich People Problems came together from an awards event we attended right before we went to France. Hello Goodbye from the Comeback Kings EP was nominated for Best Song at the Malibu Music Awards. We went to the awards ceremony and had a great time hanging out and meeting people. It was held at the Malibu Inn, right across the street from the Malibu Pier. One of the guys I met gave me a deep insight to the single life living in Malibu. After a recap of a lame blind date he had gone on, he shook his head and said to me, Malibu, nothing but tits and teeth. Always looking for song inspiration, I knew I had just been handed a gem. Although Hello Goodbye didn't win, we were happy to have been nominated out of 500 songs listened to, and on the way home I told Dee about the insightful one-liner, and we agreed that there was a song there, something about rich people problems. Dee had been marinating on the idea, and then we started jamming in France. He hummed a bass line, and Kelly ran with it. So Dee came up with the do 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 do. D. Kelly came up with a quick strum guitar figure at the end of each 4 bars in the verse, and we were off. Oh, so that's Kelly. That was his idea. I'm so glad I have this written down. We came up with a pre-chorus and a chorus section, and we could feel something magical happening. We broke for dinner, and all the engineers were going out and wanted us to join them, but we had a song to finish. They had a great time in town while we hung back and wrote lyrics until 3 a.m. We were inspired. The 3 of us bounced lyric ideas back and forth, vowing to keep the line tits and teeth in Malibu at all costs. Dee really ran with the lyrics and came up with some great verses. Let me scroll through this, because actually... Oh, okay, right. So I didn't go out with him that night. All right, so let me... Nope, not there yet. Okay, we'll do that. On Saturday, we moved our writing session to the Arcades, an outstanding room. An outstanding room. I lost my spot. 33 meters long, 10 meters wide, 6 meters high, stone walls, wood ceiling, and visible roof structure. The resulting acoustics of this place makes it wonderful for a large drum sound, string ensemble, choir, etc. We chipped away at tightening up Rich People Problems because we felt that this song needed to be recorded on Monday before we left La Fabrique. It has a Rolling Stones-like quality, and as soon as the song starts, it just feels good. It's infectious and has an energy about it that's undeniable. Eddie would pop in from time to time checking in on us. He let me try out his brand new guitar effects pedals that were yet to be released. The Eddie Kramer Signature Series by F pedals. The EK Distortion, EK Phase Vibe, and EK Echo Box. I tried the Phase Vibe pedal on the verses and knew instantly that was it. The perfect pedal for the song. Such a beautiful and transparent phase effect. It rocks. We told Eddie we were working on something new, fun, and amazing, and couldn't wait to show him on Monday. So Saturday night was the last night for the engineers, so we all hung out drinking wine and enjoying incredible appetizers made by Anne, the on-site chef at La Fabrique. We shared stories, photos, and videos of the week's activities and had an amazing time. We ate dinner, and then I went out with the guys to the local bar, which we walked to. It only took 20 minutes, and it was surreal to walk under the starry skies through the beautiful countryside of France. We met some local girls who we found out were still in high school. Crazy. Only one of them spoke English, so we had an interesting time communicating. Lots of laughs. A great night for sure. We closed down the bar and walked back to La Fabrique. We stayed up until 3 a.m. at least. That's when I turned in for the night. Sunday morning, we had breakfast, and then all went into the dark room to demo Eddie's new guitar effects pedals. Kelly and I sampled through the EK Distortion along with the EK Phase Vibe and EK Echo Box. Really great sounding pedals. So I was super excited to add them to my pedal board, which I did. So we put together a quick little compilation of us messing around. It was me and Eddie and Kelly messing around with these effects pedals. And this is actually the room where we did a lot of the round and round writing and rich people problems writing. So check this out.
Nice one.
Okay. Fun with Eddie Kramer. All right, so then we said goodbye to the guys, and we still had so that's photo from that session there with Eddie. So we said goodbye to the guys, and we had some time to do some sightseeing. So we went cruising around. We went and checked out some caves that they had a really cool Van Gogh exhibit that we got to see in La Fabrique. It was like the art was being presented in a cold, dark rock quarry made of limestone, and it was quite amazing. It was projected on the walls, ceilings, and floors. It was stunning, and it was similar to what we saw in L.A. Beth, Alexa, and Miko. We went to a Van Gogh exhibit. It's probably, honestly, put together by the same people that I had seen in 2012. So that was fun. And then we went to a charming little town about 20 minutes from the studio, and they were in the middle of a Renaissance festival, and we grabbed some tea and coffee, and we're hanging out. That's Dee and Eddie and Kelly and myself. And while we were sitting there, a guy with a $500,000 Bugatti pulled up in the middle of the Renaissance Festival. Eddie ran over and invited him to our table. We found out he's an Englishman who lives there and races his Bugatti among other prized vehicles all over the world. He used to race them himself, but now he hires a driver to do the racing. He races his Bugatti in the U.S. and ships his car across the Atlantic to do it. What a life. We went back to La Fabrique for another incredible dinner and got some rest for the last day of recording. So the plan was to lay down basic rhythm tracks for Shine a Light, and also we were hoping to have enough time to show Eddie Rich People Problems, and that was the plan. So Shine a Light basic tracks we did fairly quickly once we figured out tones. I played it using the Taylor acoustic guitar and then did an overdub with the Gretsch. We ended up spending quite a bit of time dialing in the right guitar tone to blend with the Taylor. Needed to dirty up the Gretsch just a little bit. Too much distortion and it wouldn't do the song justice. Too little distortion and the track would fall flat. We found the right amount of distortion and did the overdub in one take. We had some time left over, so we told Eddie about Rich People Problems. I had recorded our music jam on my iPhone the day before. We connected the phone to the mixing console and sang the vocals live for him during playback. So imagine we've got the song on the iPhone, just the music from our jam session, and we're singing, Dee's singing the lyrics, and Kelly and I are doing Rich People Problems. He's got rich people problems. And it was a really fun moment because we were super excited and Eddie loved it. So he shouted, "We have to record this now. I love this song." So Dee and Kelly went back into that drum room that I showed you the picture of, and we recorded the basic rhythm track with me playing along in the control room. We listened to it, and although we played it right, Eddie wasn't happy with the way it was sounding. He fell in love with the sound of the demo and wanted to duplicate that. He said, "Forget about convention. Let's get into the dark room and record it there." So Dee set up the little drum kit he used during our writing session, bass, drum, snare, hi-hat, added one crash cymbal. That's it. Kelly and I used the same amps as the demo, and Eddie and Damien quickly set up some mics. We did a couple takes in that room, and it still wasn't right. We told him that one version had been recorded in the dark room, and the version he liked was recorded across the compound in the arcades. That's it! That's where we have to record this song, because it has the high ceilings and the long room in there makes for the perfect natural reverb and decay for this song. It's very reminiscent of the sound we got at Olympic Sound Studios in London. That's what he was saying. Like he did some Led Zeppelin tracking. He was talking about how they did it in London. So we moved all the gear to the arcades and got ready as quickly as possible. I used Eddie's unreleased F Pedals EK Phase Vibe pedal along with my Ibanez modified tube screamer that I switched on the fly for the verses and chorus sections. I plugged into the Fender Super Reverb, and Eddie angled our amps and mic'd the room in a way for the least amount of bleed. That way he has as much control as possible between the amps after the fact, because you don't want to have too much bass in the guitar amp and too much guitar in the bass amp, right? So he figured out, world-class recording engineer, he knows what he's doing. He did a fantastic job creating separation. So I plugged into the Fender Super Reverb, and Eddie angled our amps and mic'd the room in a way for the least amount of bleed. This time all three of us were in the same room. Once Eddie adjusted all the mics and got levels, we nailed it in the first take. So, I know I've played it before, but I'm going to do it again because this is the only take we did because this was the beginning of Dee's health issues, and he was having difficulty taking 30 steps without having to stop and take a break. So we did this song in one take, and that was it. So he was like, I hope you got it. So here it is.
Yep. Woo!
Yep.
That was history.
Can I go home now? It was there lurking. I had to let it out.
What's that? Can I go home now?
No.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Rich people problems, right? Crazy. So I'm going to show some never before seen photos from the France trip. Barry says, I like this version. I'm glad, because that's the only version we got. That's what ended up being the recorded version. That one take. That was the one. So yeah, I'm super proud of that. It was awesome. So this is on the way to France. This is on the train. We're in France. We haven't gotten to the studio yet. We left Paris. We're on our way to Avignon to meet Pascal, the driver, to take us to the studio, to take us to La Fabrique. So I did a little selfie on the train at pretty much the same moment I took the other shot. So check out those wired earbuds. Back in my day, we didn't have AirPods. There's the outside of La Fabrique. It's quite a facility. I don't know. I think 30 rooms or something. I mean, so bands will book this place out for months at a time and then record their album, and just, they might have writing sessions and do their thing. Had a pool. It was too cold. No one swam while we were there, but it's beautiful, right? Look at that pool. It's awesome. South of France. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, so this shot is from October 3rd, 2012. That's when I took this shot. So exactly 11 years ago today. Beth says, let's just book it for a band vacation, right? Exactly. D has the added fills I can hear clearer live. Ah, nice. Yeah. Yeah, those fills are there. They're on the recording. But yeah, you can just because there's no vocals going on, so it's easier, I guess, to hear what he was doing there. La Fabrique. Okay, so this is the night we went out, and so these are all our buddies that we recorded with. These are the engineers and producers from around the world. There's the guy Dan on the far right, the mixing engineer from Atlanta, who ended up, passing away just a few years ago. Just a great guy. The guy on the far left, no idea who that guy is. He just walked in and we took the picture, and we were like, who's that guy? So the guy on the left was not with us. I don't know who that is. This is the day of sightseeing. We went out and about, and this is around the time the guy with the Bugatti showed up, and Eddie was just like crazy about it. So it was cool. This is Eddie and Damien. So check out the blanket technique. He had all kinds of cool things that he did. This is what he did when he recorded John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. He took the drum head off the front, and he used several different mics, and then he would put a blanket over the mics and whatnot to kind of create this bass drum sound. He loved doing that. So he did that with D. So yeah, you can see that this is a better shot of this, Jimmy, you were asking. You can see all the books and the shelves and whatnot, and the wood flooring. Fantastic sounding drum room. It was really good. And here's the control room. Look at this. Beautiful. Couch. You see in the foreground the mixing console. Kelly playing that red Gretsch that I used for Shine a Light and Hypnotized. Shot of Kelly and Eddie at the mixing console. And it's wild. Like, look at that. If you look in the center of the picture, the back wall there's that in the middle. There they had all the wiring built in. They just took all the books out or whatever and had the patch bay right there. Nice and seamless. This is this is my point of view. I'm in the control room with you see the SM58 microphone, the Shure microphone, and I'm looking through the glass window, and there's D. Kelly would be on the other side. You just can't see him right now. He's not in the picture at the moment, but that's where we did our tracking, our conventional tracking, and for the other 3 songs, but not for Rich People Problems. So this is when we thought we were going to do it in the dark room. We had done some writing in there, so Eddie was like, okay, we're going to record it in here. And so he started setting stuff up, and that wasn't it. And then we were like, well, we didn't that recording you heard was in the arcades. And then he was like, oh, we got to move from here. That's what we got to do. But there's Eddie doing his thing, micing it up. Now, here we go. Setting up. The video you just saw was the Rich People Problems music. All right, you got a better shot of that mixing board. And so it's a nice, you know, a nice mix of analog and digital at La Fabrique. And Eddie really enjoyed using both mediums. Obviously, when he started, it was like 2 tracks, and then 4 tracks, and then 8 tracks, 16 track, 24 track, all analog, and you were limited to, that was it, you know? So he told us a great story. So he was part of the Whole Lotta Love, you know, the Led Zeppelin song. And, you know, you hear that way down inside. You hear Robert Plant, woman, you need me. He sings it an octave higher. I'm not doing that right now. But you hear this like way down inside, and you hear this echo, woman, woman. You hear this delay on the recording. Like if you go right now and listen to it, that wasn't intentional. They had recorded over that same piece of tape, because they only had that one track for Robert Plant's vocal. They had done it so much that earlier vocal take, basically they couldn't eliminate. It was just kind of ghosting in the tape. So that was from a previous take he had done, and that's what was coming through. So there was like no getting rid of it, and it ended up just being like Eddie was like, leave it, it's cool. So that sound that you hear in the middle of Whole Lotta Love, the song breaks down, and John Bonham's doing this cool like breakdown percussive kind of thing on the hi-hat and kick drum, and you hear Robert Plant just kind of riffing over it. So that delay, that was not intentional. The vocal delay that you hear, that was an earlier take that, you know, they couldn't get rid of. So, Beautiful Red Gretsch with the Bigsby tremolo. And now it's October 9th, and we've left La Fabrique, and we're doing a little sightseeing in Paris, where Kelly turned 25 years old. We were there during his birthday. That is his birthday, October 9th. Young man there, 25. Back at the Eiffel Tower, that's on October 10th. That was the next day. We were getting ready to get out of there. Oberkampf, that was one of the train stations that we got off at. And we loved that name, so we took a picture of it. Out and about sightseeing. 3 knuckleheads. That's a cool shot of the studio. The console and the tracking room. Fun. There's the drum room. See all the blankets over the kick drum. Eddie doing his thing at the mixing console, giving direction. And there you have it. There you have it. A nice recap from 11 years ago in the south of France with Eddie Kramer for the Saint-Rémy du Provence recording session. Well, this has been an interesting episode. I was thinking, that's October 3rd. Happy birthday to Miko. Miko's 16. Miko's been on the show a few times, and just want to say happy birthday to him. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do for tonight's episode? And I thought, well, last year we were at Chukapalooza, and 11 years ago we were at the south of France. So why not kind of highlight both of those fun memories from Olio's past and go down memory lane and share some fun stories. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun going back and reliving some things. This has been episode 240. Thank you, Beth. She says, great show. Thank you. I really appreciate you all tuned in. See you the 28th. Danny's got his ticket. You got it, man. We'll see you on the 28th, Danny. And we are definitely playing Boom. I just don't know where in the set. So you're just going to have to pay attention. Probably not opening with it, because I got to change it up. But Danny's got his ticket. St. Rock, October 28th, opening for Super Diamond. There it is. You don't want to miss this show. It's going to be super fun. As Alexa says, it's Hollow Weekend. It's a Hollow Weekend. So come dressed in a costume if you want to. I'll be dressed as the singer-guitarist in Olio. Ready to rock. Okay. So, October 28th. Can't wait. Perfect. All right, I'm going to leave you with the final version of Hypnotized that includes the ending rap from D. Somebody slap me. All right, episode 240 coming to a close. See you next time, next Tuesday, same time, same Olio channel. You know the drill. Much love to you. Thank you. Have a great week.
Seen a lot of things, oh my, what tomorrow brings. In a flash before my eyes, oh yeah, I'm hypnotized. Whoa, 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 I didn't see it coming, I'm hypnotized. Hypnotized. The tried and the true, nothing novel, nothing new. A siren in disguise, oh yeah, I'm hypnotized, hypnotized. Whoa, 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 I didn't see it coming, I'm hypnotized. Hypnotized. Whoa, I didn't see it coming. All I can think to do is how I'm gonna get next to you. Can't deny I'd burn for you, drawn into your trance so smooth. Hypnotized, hypnotized. Whoa, 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 I didn't see it coming. I'm hypnotized. Hypnotized.